Hey everyone, thank you for joining us for the next episode of our Agentic DevOps Live series. My name is Anna. I'll be your producer for this session. I'm an event planner for Reactor, joining you from Redmond, Washington. Before we start, I do have some quick housekeeping. Please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We seek to provide a respectful environment for both our audience and presenters. While we absolutely encourage engagement in the chat, we ask that you please be mindful of your commentary, remain professional and on topic. Keep an eye on that chat. We'll be dropping helpful links and checking for questions for our presenter to answer live. Our session is being recorded. It will be available to view on demand right here on the Reactor channel. With that, I'd love to turn it over to our speaker for today. Thank you so much for joining.
Hi, everybody. My name is Caro, and I am joining you today from Waterloo, Ontario, Canada. I'm going to be telling you about how GitHub Code Quality can help you move fast without breaking things. This is a rough outline of what I'm going to be talking about for the next 30 minutes or so. I've got some slides, I've got some bad AI generated clip art, and I've got a sweet live demo. And there will even be time at the end to answer any questions that you have that you can submit via the chat. You can submit the questions at any time, but I'm not going to answer them until the very end of the presentation. So I would be remiss in giving a presentation in this day and age if I did not start with a fun statistic about how much code is being written by AI agents. In the past 90 days alone, Copilot Cloud Agent has opened nearly 5 million pull requests. When you're using AI for coding, it's great. You feel like a rock star. You finish a feature in 2 hours that used to take you 2 days. And Copilot will even write the tests and docs and make it all look pretty. Heck yes. But then you open the pull request. Writing the code, so fast, so good. Getting that PR sign off, still the same old slow process. Slower, if anything, due to how many new PRs are getting created and the amount of code that is in all of them. These 4.7 million PRs that Copilot is generating still have to go through review. They still need to pass CI, and these are more likely to be larger PRs with greater potential for quality issues. Sure, LLMs are trained on the world's code, but I think we all know that not all the world's code is worth training on. Copilot does a great job, but our existing tooling is not up to the task of keeping up with it all. Traditional static analysis tools were built for a slower world. They create noise and not necessarily clarity. These tools were built to optimize for finding things, and boy, are they good at it. Every enterprise codebase in the world has hundreds to thousands to tens of thousands of alerts sitting in backlogs gathering dust. It's not that we don't care, it's that it's too hard to know what's actually important, what actually deserves our limited attention. If I'm clicking into a different tool and doing some crazy multi-factor authentication dance, it better be to a dashboard where I can actually do something. And this was a problem even before AI came along. When I started working at GitHub, I was working on Dependabot. And anyone who is familiar with Dependabot knows that that poor little robot's pull requests go ignored far too often, and it's not even LLM based. What we need isn't more findings, more alerts populating backlogs. We need the right findings in the right place at the right time. So this is why we're building GitHub Code Quality. Code Quality is a developer-first approach to maintaining quality code built directly into GitHub. With this product, we're following 3 key design principles. Number 1, surface what matters. You get prioritized findings, not just a wall of alerts. Number 2, suppress the noise. You get intelligent filtering so that you can see what is actionable. And number 3, found means fixed. With Copilot Autofix, you can generate fixes for any of the findings that are discovered, whether it's via deterministic tooling or LLM-based tooling. We're leveraging the best discovery engines we know, CodeQL for deterministic and LLM-based, to paint a holistic picture of the quality of your repositories and provide actionable advice and fixes in context. So I am going to switch to a live demo now, where I'm going to show you the features that are available today in our preview. If I can click the right button, there we go. So here, what we're looking at is a repository, and specifically a pull request. In this repository, I have this code base where it is a telemetry dashboard meant for races. So we have all kinds of different signals that we're trying to surface in this telemetry dashboard so that during races, teams can know the status of the car, the track, anything that's happening. So I'm adding this new safety car monitor through here. And so you can see that I've got some reviews from GitHub Code Quality. Here, there are a couple that I've fixed already, which is great. This next one, let's see, I've got these two identical operands. And so here it's giving me not only the problem, the quality problem, but it's also giving me an automatic fix. I can choose to commit this suggestion directly. And if I go into the Files Change tab, I can also add suggestion to batch. But before I do that, I want to look at some of the other review that I get. Because in addition to all of these problems that the GitHub Code Quality bot has found using CodeQL, apparently being 5 years rusty from being a developer does not make for very clean code. I've also automatically gotten a review from Copilot, which is giving me all of the LLM-based findings within this pull request so that I get a much more holistic view into the quality. And again, it's giving me the comment and it's giving me the suggested fix right in line. And so when I go to the Files Change tab, I can add all of these suggestions into a batch and commit them all at the same time. The last signal that I'm getting on my pull request, I scroll down a little bit. Wow, Copilot found a lot. I'm feeling a little bit bad about my code. I've got a comment from GitHub Code Quality about the code coverage and how my tests are faring. This is the newest feature that we have as part of our product. This one is actually in private preview right now, and I'll talk a little bit more about code coverage later. With all of these signals that I'm getting in the pull request, I can also set up rule sets so that I am blocking merges based on any of these signals. And in fact, here you can see that I can't merge this pull request right now. We're not very surprised given how many comments were still open on my pull request. And we can see that I've got severity of warning or above detected, which means I won't be able to merge it. And these rule sets are configurable and able to be applied across repositories. So that's the example in the pull request where I'm preventing new technical debt from being added and preventing possible new bugs from being added into my production code. But let's take a look at what it looks like across the code base that already exists. Just rush back up to the top here. Within my Security and Quality tab, I have a section for code quality. This section for standard findings is where we're surfacing all of our CodeQL scan results. If anybody is familiar with our existing code scanning security tool, this will look pretty familiar. We've added some scores for maintainability and reliability. These are based on the number and severity of problems found in each of these categories by CodeQL. So at a glance, I can tell that my reliability in particular is quite low. When I look below here, I can see all of the findings in my repository grouped by rule. So for example, this top one, I have 13 times where I have had an unused variable, import, function, or class, which might mean that my code is bringing in stuff that is not needed, or maybe there are variables that I should be using in places instead of hard-coded values. Since I'm particularly worried about my reliability here, since it's the lowest score, I want to use this filtering to get down to the findings that are going to be the most impactful for me to fix. So here I care about reliability and I care about the severity. So let's look at the highest severity problems. I see that there's only one rule and 2 findings that are dragging my score down for reliability. If I go in here to learn more details, I can see a description of the problem, some recommended changes, and some examples in the language of the repository. I can see the findings in a list below. There's only 2 of them, but if there were too many, I could use any of the advanced filtering options that were available to me previously to filter down to different ones, including filtering by path. And here I can generate new fixes for these problems, and I can open a pull request directly with the findings. I could also assign this to Copilot so that Copilot can fix multiple problems at once, or if I believe that these are a false positive, I can dismiss them. Now, when I go back to my standard findings, I can see that my reliability score has gone up pretty significantly because I chose to dismiss those ones. If dismissing them was a mistake and I need to look at them again, I can just switch this to is dismissed, and I can see the dismissed ones right here and reopen them if I need to. The other thing that we can see about our repository is these AI findings. So this is an experiment from us in learning how to get the LLM to scan the entire repository. Right now, we've limited it to the 5 files that have changed most recently so that we can stay within context windows and really figure out what the most important findings are to present. So here we can see it's found a couple findings across 5 files. If I go into this test file, for example, Copilot is noticing that the test has an overly permissive assertion, which means that the test is not really working the way that it needs to work in order to test the behavior. It's giving me the description of the problem, and it's giving me a suggestion on how to fix it. And now I have a choice here. I can either open a pull request directly with the fix that it's already suggested in line, or I can assign it to Copilot. And by assigning it to Copilot, I get all of the agentic goodness of Copilot Cloud Agent, where it can make the change, it can understand the context, and it can check its work using a variety of tools. In this case, because it's just one finding, I'm not too worried about too much interaction. And so I'm just going to open a pull request directly with that fix. And then once that pull request is open and has been reviewed and passes all of the tests that I need it to pass, I can then resolve that AI finding. The last feature that I want to show you today is at the organization level. Usually, I would expect you're not necessarily working in just one repository. Usually you're working across a number of repositories that maybe all go together in a single project. So here at the organization level, I can go to the Security and Quality tab. This security overview already exists if you have GitHub Advanced Security. But if you have Code Quality, you can now access this particular tab. This is showing me the distribution of quality scores across all the repositories that I have write access to in this organization. So I can see, for example, that there are 11 repositories that I have access to that have both their reliability and maintainability scores at the lowest value. This tells me that these 11 repositories are the ones that might need the most attention right now. In the future, we're going to bring more to this dashboard, including trends over time and other quality metrics such as code coverage or code complexity, so that you can see at a glance how your repositories are trending and where you might need to apply the most attention. I can also filter down based on any number of these parameters, including our custom repository properties. All right, back to the presentation. Many of our current preview users have been chomping at the bit for us to work on a tool like this for a long time. Whoops, that went forward when I wasn't expecting it to. Okay. If you are looking to consolidate your tooling and increase confidence in your code where your code lives, look no further. So that demo is just what we've done up until now. We've taken our existing code scanning experiences and translated them into quality and translated them into this, time of AI. But there's so much more to quality that we're excited to dive into. An interesting thing we've learned about quality versus security is that security is all about the individual alerts. How many criticals do you have? Are they on internet-facing applications? Can they be strung together into an attack? But quality is about a multitude of different metrics and signals. You could have pristine-looking code that CodeQL finds nothing in, but if developers don't know how to add new features to it, then that's not very good quality. Or maybe it's legible, but brittle because you don't have enough testing. That's not very good quality. Maybe your test coverage is great, but it takes 10 seconds to load a page. That's not very good quality. Maybe it's the most beautiful code in the world, but your pipelines aren't following your company standards. Then that's not very good quality. We're working to bring all these signals and more into our product so that you and Copilot can have a full picture and take targeted, impactful action to improve things without slowing down. Next, Copilot, or in this AI-generated image, off-brand AI-generated Copilot, will use those signals to guide you. Code quality is the quality layer in an agentic DevOps workflow. Copilot will be able to give you suggestions on where to target your time to burn down your technical debt and how to prevent more from accruing before you merge your PRs. It can do this using the same signals you use to track the quality of your code over time, leading to reduced debt, faster review cycles, and higher confidence. Today, 73% of the quality-related findings that we generate on PRs automatically come with a fix, and this number is only getting better over time. Our preview users describe using our review tools as fighting fire with fire. AI-generated code may be flooding your open pull request list, but our review tools are a release valve to speed you up and give you the confidence to press that approve button. This is the Agentic DevOps promise, not just AI writing code, but AI helping you maintain code quality across the lifecycle. We started with that 4.7 million PRs number, worrying about whether all those PRs were worth merging. The answer isn't to slow down or avoid reviewing them. The answer is give developers the right signals in the right place with AI-powered actions to resolve issues. This is what moving fast without breaking things actually looks like. Not speed or quality, but speed with quality. By using our tools, you can move fast without breaking things. So try it out today. Tell us what you think. This QR code will bring you to the community the public GitHub community discussion, where we are collecting feedback and fixing bugs. Code Quality is available for free today during the public preview phase, and you can enable it via your repository settings. And now at this point, I am happy to take any questions that you all have. And I will stop sharing my screen so that you don't just see my PowerPoint. Oh, it looks like we have a quiet chat. Yeah, if you have any questions for me, please feel free to drop them in the chat. You can also drop them into that community discussion that I shared before. Give it another couple seconds of waiting for questions. Oh, we got one. I'm ready. Is this going to be included in GitHub Advanced Security eventually? The answer is no. Code Quality is going to be a standalone product that you purchase separately from GitHub Advanced Security. Anything else? How has Mythos changed how you guys do code review? What a fabulous question that I cannot answer for you. Of course, as was announced as part of Project Glasswing, Microsoft is part of that, and we don't have anything that we're changing yet because of Mythos, to my knowledge. All right, last call for any other questions. Okay, well, I guess this was a nice and quick one. Oh, one more question. How is the pricing looking? Yeah, that is a very spicy question. I do not have an answer for you at this time. It is something that, like you acknowledge, is quite fluid at GitHub, and we are assessing our pricing strategy, particularly for code quality. But there will be announcements and a lot of notice before our product moves from free to paid. And you will have plenty of opportunity to assess the potential costs and choose whether or not to continue if you try out the public preview. Okay. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you all for watching, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining, and thanks again to our speakers. This session is a part of a series. To register for future shows and watch past episodes on demand, you can follow the link on the screen or in the chat. We're always looking to improve our sessions and your experience. If you have any feedback for us, we would love to hear what you have to say. You can find that link on the screen or in the chat. And we'll see you at the next one.